John was a passionate gamer who spent most of his days in front of his computer, immersing himself in the virtual worlds of his favorite video games. He was particularly fond of first-person shooter games, which allowed him to take on the role of a soldier and engage in intense combat missions. One day, while playing his favorite game, John felt a strange sensation wash over him. It was as if he had been transported into the game itself, and he found himself fully immersed in the world he had been controlling through his computer screen. As he moved through the game world, John noticed something strange. The other soldiers he was fighting alongside were talking to him, calling him by his real name and asking him questions that had nothing to do with the game itself. Confused, John began to realize that something was off. The more he played, the more he started to feel like he was controlling a real soldier in a real war. He saw the horror of war first, and as he witnessed his comrades being killed in action, the chaos of the battlefield, and the devastating effects it had on the innocent people who were caught in the crossfire. Overwhelmed by the realization of what was happening, John tried to disconnect from the game, but he found that he was unable to do so. He was trapped, a prisoner of the game, unable to escape the horrific reality that he had been thrust into. As the battle raged on, John began to question his own morality. He had always enjoyed playing these types of games, but now he was forced to confront the harsh realities of war. He wondered if the soldiers he was controlling in the game had ever felt the same sense of confusion and despair that he was feeling now. And then, just as suddenly as he had been transported into the game world, John was back in his own bedroom, staring at his computer screen in disbelief. He sat there for a long time, trying to process what had just happened. It was a chilling experience, one that he would never forget. And as he sat there, staring at his computer screen, he knew that he would never be able to look at video games the same way again. For days after the experience, John couldn't bring himself to play any of his favorite video games. He couldn't shake the feeling that he had been given a glimpse into a world that he wasn't meant to see, a world where the lines between reality and fantasy had become dangerously blurred. But as time went on, John found himself drawn back to his computer, unable to resist the pull of the virtual worlds that had always brought him so much joy. He started playing his favorite games again, but this time with a newfound sense of awareness and responsibility. He began to research the games he was playing, learning more about the real-life conflicts and wars that inspired their storylines. He even started connecting with other gamers online, engaging in discussions about the impact that these games could have on our understanding of war and conflict. Through his research and discussions, John came to a realization. Video games could be a powerful tool for learning about the world around us, for understanding the complex political and social issues that shape our lives. But they could also be dangerous, perpetuating harmful stereotypes and glorifying violence in ways that could be harmful to young and impressionable gamers. Determined to use his love of gaming for good, John began volunteering with organizations that worked to educate young gamers about the realities of war and conflict. He used his platform as a gamer to raise awareness about important issues and to encourage others to use gaming as a tool for learning and growth, rather than simply as a form of entertainment. In the end, John came to understand that video games were not just a way to escape from reality, but a way to engage with it more deeply. and he realized that he had a responsibility as a gamer to use his passion and his voice to make a positive impact on the world around him. The experience he had of controlling a real soldier in a virtual world had opened his eyes to the power and the responsibility that came with playing video games. And he knew that he would never take that responsibility lightly again. Years had passed since John's experience of controlling a real soldier in a virtual world. He had become a successful game designer, and his work had earned him the respect of the gaming community and beyond. One day, John received an email from a young gamer who had been inspired by his story. The gamer had been struggling with the same questions and doubts that John had faced years before. But after reading about John's journey, he had found a renewed sense of purpose and a belief that gaming could be used for good. The email brought a smile to John's face, and he realized that the impact of his experience had far exceeded his expectations. He had learned that even the smallest actions could have a ripple effect, inspiring others to make a positive change in their own lives and the world around them. The message that John wanted to share with the world was clear. Gaming was not just a form of entertainment, but a powerful tool for education, empathy, and social change. It was up to each and every gamer to use their passion and their platform to make a positive impact on the world around them. In a world where violence and conflict seemed all too common, gaming had the potential to create a new generation of empathetic and informed citizens. And John knew that he had a responsibility to use his skills and his passion to help bring about that change. The message was clear. We have the power to make a difference, even in the virtual worlds we inhabit. And it's up to us to use that power wisely to create a world that is more just, more peaceful, and more connected than the one we inherited.